Hello, my name is Ashley and welcome to my channel, Mississippi Magnolias. I just did my introduction while holding up a pair of underwear. That's great. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, think that thing does something, not entirely sure. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and I hope you stick around for more. Usually on Saturdays, I do my cleaning, and in the morning I'll do my cleaning. Around noon is when I'll edit, and then I post it that afternoon. So you guys usually see the final version of my day of cleaning with the edits done, the music behind, the time lapse, everything. But I felt like I wanted to bring you guys along with me as I was doing my things in real time. That way I could have a conversation and you kind of learn more about me, because I have failed to be present, if you will. And a lot of that is because I have discovered that I have a little bit of camera shy. So I have intentionally distanced myself away from the camera. But that's going to change now with all of my awkwardness and all of my not knowing what I'm doing. You guys are about to learn about me. So my cat is at the door and I hope he goes away. I maybe should just let him in.
Come on, baby. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
This is Charlie. He doesn't like it when I close the door, so he's just gonna chill with us. So a couple of things about me first. My name is Ashley. I'm 29 years old. I reside in Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. And I am a wife. I am a stepmother of 2 boys. I have been in their lives for about 5.5 years. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I do work full time. I'm in the petroleum industry. And yeah, by the way, this is like 2 weeks worth of laundry. And I did not just save it specifically for this video. Baby, you're gonna get hair on everything. No, come on. That's why we have a lint brush. I did not save all this laundry just for this video. I'm just really behind on life. So let's chat. So a couple of things. If you're not familiar with Olive Branch, Mississippi, it is a great little town, North Mississippi, as north as you can get. I reside, like I said, near Memphis, and I commute there every day for work, and so does my husband. I've lived there. I went to school there, or college there. And if you're not familiar with it, it's not a very good area. It has a high crime rate, and a lot has been happening in recent times to make the crime rate even worse than it was before. So I do cross the state line every day, and there's some really great aspects of Memphis. Don't let me talk down about it. There's great people there, there's great activities, there's great businesses. It's just that you have to be cautious, you have to be careful. So my folding is kind of gonna be crap because I'm so distracted. But yeah, so Olive Branch is a great little area. I was an Army brat, so I have not lived here my whole life. I've been in the area for about 10 years now. My family is about an hour and a half away. My mom and my brothers, aunts and uncles. Yeah. I don't know what to talk about, really. Probably gonna come on here and be like, okay, see you later. So when I first started my channel, I was not in the best spot. I was struggling a bit mentally. And I say that very cautiously because I was a very happy person. That's not what I'm saying. I was not, on the brink of, an ultimate depression or anything like that. But I had to let go of a dream that I was working very hard towards, and that didn't sit well with me. I was struggling with that, and I needed to find something to occupy my time in a healthy manner. So that's what I did. And I figured I wanted to gain a community, create a community, and and have some new friends. And when I created my YouTube channel, I had every intention of being very present and being very active. But the more I did my videos, the more I discovered that I had this hidden fear of being in front of a camera. So I'm trying to overcome that fear. And hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I can overcome it, we can get through it, and you can see more of me. But I'm very, very, I wouldn't even say self-conscious. Like, I have pretty decent self-esteem. It's just this fear. It's kind of like a stage fright. Does anybody else have that when it comes to like seeing yourself or listening to yourself? Like, my voicemail cringes me out, and it always has. So that's why I don't even know if I have a voicemail, to be honest with you, anymore. But yeah, does anybody else have that? Are there any new channels here that had a similar fear? Is it normal? I don't know. I feel like it would be. I feel like it's a normal thing. You know, you're not used to seeing yourself, and then now you are, and so is, you know, a lot of other people. But yeah, so I'm at this point in my life where I wanted to try something new, and that's what I was going to be doing. And I'll just tell you the story. So I've always wanted to have a wedding venue. I've always wanted to have an event venue, but an inexpensive venue. I wanted to have something that people can enjoy without going in debt. And we had agreed that we were tired of living in a subdivision, that we were ready to get back into the country. And we found this beautiful piece of property, and it was red flags from day one. Like, we ran into issues after issue after issue from day one, and we still powered through it. And we put our house on the market, we packed up our house, we did everything. And the red flags continued to show. So I was already planning on, you know, working on the venue plans. We were also going to do a couple of cabins to do Airbnb, things like that. I was already working on that pretty heavily, and I had been, which that was, again, a dream of mine. So I had been working on that for years, but it was finally coming true. Like, it was finally happening, and I could see the finish line. I wasn't going to quit my job. That was going to be just totally something that I did on the side, if you will. Eventually it would have been full-time, but not in the near future. So one thing led to another, and the whole plan fell through. We pulled our house off of the market. We dropped the land. We did not move forward with the land, and a lot of that was the sellers. They were not making it easy for us at all. I mean, they gave us trouble after trouble after trouble. They couldn't provide clear lot lines. The survey didn't make sense. They just were really, really difficult to deal with. And we finally had enough. We said, you know, there's obviously a reason why this is not meant for us. Let's just push pause and let's pull everything back. Let's rein it all in. So I was having a really difficult time with that because I could see the finish line, and the finish line was no longer there. And I felt like I had wasted all of this time. So mentally and emotionally, I was a bit of a wreck. I was mad. I was just angry. And I needed a healthy outlet for that. And I also felt very alone in that. You know, I'm surrounded by people all day long, but maybe you understand. Maybe you're a mom, or, you know, you're a working parent. What the heck was that? I don't know. You heard it too? But maybe you are surrounded by people all day long, but at the end of the day, you still feel like you didn't have a real conversation with anybody. And a lot of that is because at work, I'm in work mode, and I deal with people all day long, but it's not like, oh, hey, you know, tell me about your life. It's just work mode. And then I come home and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing the laundry, I'm helping with homework, I'm having conversation, meaningful conversation. But, you know, I don't know. Does that make sense? Does anybody else, you know, have those days where, or those times in your life where you feel like you're surrounded by people all the time, but you're just, at the end of the day, like, you're kind of doing it by yourself? So I'm very blessed to have a very amazing relationship with my husband, and he is, I don't know how I got so lucky to gain him as a husband, but sometimes I have issues explaining to him, like, I'm sad and I don't know why I'm sad. I feel like I'm very, very alone in the matter when I'm not at all. I mean, he's there with me all the time, but yeah, so that's why I started the YouTube channel. And again, I had every single intention of being very active, and I have yet to do that. In other news, Halloween is in 2 days, and I'm very excited for that. We have been faced with much sickness in our home, so my family is currently on the mend. But what do you guys do for Halloween? Are you celebrating on Saturday? Are you celebrating on Monday? Are you celebrating at all? Do you do trick-or-treats? Do you go trick-or-treating? Trunk-or-treats, not trick-or-treats. What do you do? We do trick-or-treating. We go door to door, anybody who has a light on, and we do it that way. My kids are getting to the age where it's not very cool. I have one who is not, he's about to be 9, so it's still okay for him. The one just turned 13, so he's a little too cool for that. But he's not at that point where he wants to go and hang out with his friends yet. Like he's just kind of like, nah, I just don't care. But I'm very behind on life. I have not carved pumpkins with my children this year. Usually we already have that done. I have not picked out Halloween costumes. I haven't done anything yet. And mainly because we've been so sick this month, and I don't know why. But, oh, well, this is awkward. I wish you could see like how I'm folding my laundry. Maybe people do it differently. Maybe you look at how I fold it and you're like, oh my God, why did she do it that way? So I usually, I used to have winter clothes, summer clothes, spring clothes, and I would alternate from totes. And finally last year, I said, I am so over this. This is not fun. This is not fun to do the, exchanging of clothes. So I got rid of so many clothes. I donated them all and threw away what needed to be thrown away. And everything fits my closet now. And it's such a refreshing feeling, like to know, like I don't have to do that now that it's getting colder. In most of my videos, I wear the same things. And that's because it's my lounging clothes, cleaning clothes, comfortable clothes. And I'm sure people think like, oh my God, she never dresses up. She never puts on makeup. She never does her hair. But it's like, I do that Monday through Friday. I don't want to do that Saturday and Sunday. I don't want to do that if I don't have to. And in the comfort of my own home, I'm not going to. I'm just not. And I've read and listened to videos where they say if you're going to be doing videos, if you're going to be doing YouTube, you need to put on a face. You need to be presentable. You guys are just going to see me. That's it. You're going to see me, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But that's a you problem, not a me problem. Another thing I feel very, I don't know, like it's worth mentioning is I am a stepmother, and I don't feel like there's any preparation for stepmothers. And maybe you can relate. Maybe you're a stepmother, or maybe you are, you have children of your own, but you're currently dealing with somebody coming in to your circle being a stepmother. But does anybody have any, I don't know, I mean, hopefully you don't have horror stories, but hopefully, people have tips to share about navigating through stepmotherhood. Because for me, like, nobody prepares you for it. In fact, growing up, or not even growing up, I wouldn't say that, like nobody was talking to me as a child about it. But when I was just starting to become serious with men and have these serious, meaningful relationships. Hi, Charlie. I'm sorry. one of the first questions I always got asked was, does he have children? And it was always like kind of frowned upon if he had children, which is so bizarre to me now looking at it. But I say that because, you know, it's so frowned upon that nobody said, oh, well, here's a manual of how to deal with, you know, a single father, or how to do things properly. You know, it was kind of just a figure it out as you go. So, do I have any fellow stepmothers on my channel? If so, how are you? How are you doing? I feel like being a step parent, maybe not mother, a step parent, it's a very hard thing to do. Now let me explain. I came into my children's lives when they were fairly young. One was, how old is he now? One was 3, going on 4, and one was 7 or 8. And I caught them at really great times in their life. I got to experience a lot. I got to be with them for a lot. But I was young. I was a young person, and I was a single person. I did not have children of my own. I had 2 cats and a dog. That was my children. So it seemed like overnight I went from being a fur mother to running a household. And there was no like easily getting into it. It was just like, bam, you're here. And figuring that out was really hard. It was an adjustment. I'm sorry, but I gotta get my clothes. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so stepmotherhood was definitely something I was thrown into, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to raise children. I'm sure I have a motherly instinct, but it was not something I was exposed to yet. And my children are my world. At this point, like they are mine. Like, you know, obviously, like we co-parent, and we co-parent very well. Their mother is very active in their lives, but yeah, it was something that nobody prepared you for, and I always wondered, like, why not? There's tons of new mother books, and there's tons of parenting books for mothers and parents and everything else, but there was no manual on, hey, you're becoming a step parent, here's what you can do. At least none that I found, because I looked. Oh, Charlie, I'm so sorry. I've got a lot of clothes. But, so if you are becoming a step parent, here's some things you should know. Open communication is great. Like you've got to get along with a parent, and if you can't get along with that parent, then don't do the communication. Don't do the communicating. In my circumstance, I got along with her fine, and we do communicate. We text each other. You know, we'll call each other if something is wrong. We'll text one another if, hey, I'm coming to pick up so and so. Hey, you need to be here and here. You know, whatever. But if there was ever anything that was going to be controversial, that was going to spark some debate, or that was going to ruffle feathers, I did not do it. I let my husband do it. Out of respect to her, out of respect to him, I did not ruffle feathers my own. Maybe you guys disagree. What do you think? But I allow them to ruffle one another's feathers, if you will. I didn't feel like it was my place. I didn't feel like that. Ultimately, this day is hers. Not mine, but hers. Those are her babies too. Those are her babies. They're my bonus babies, but they're hers. So I let that be, and I don't overstep. But my children are my world, and I will go up to bat for them any day of the week. I care for them when they're sick. I do homework with them. I feed them. I clothe them. I take them to school. I go to band. I go to games. I do everything that a mother would do, but I do have to show that respect on she is their mother. And that's important. So if you are a girlfriend, or if you are a fiance, or if you are whatever you are, I strongly advise to not overstep. Second thing, I don't push them to call me mom. I tell them you can call me whatever you want. It absolutely makes my day when they do call me mom. And I let them know, like, oh, you call me mom, you know, but they normally just call me Ash, and that's fine with me. I respect that. It's what they feel comfortable with, and I don't press it. I will never force them to call me mother, call me mom, ma, whatever it is. It is totally up to them to feel comfortable with whatever they feel comfortable with. When it comes to making really tough decisions on their well-being, we always talk it out. I always say, go ask your mom. For instance, our oldest just turned 13 and he wanted Snapchat. And I had been against Snapchat. I have a Snapchat, but I'm an adult. And I fear Snapchat because of people on it, because of adults on it, is what I fear. And I had told him no, and his father backed me up. And finally, I said, okay, well, you're 13. We can reevaluate. And I said what I thought. His father said what he thought. And we said, well, your mom has put in her input. And she said, yeah, you know, that's fine, whatever. But things like that, things that affect them every single day, I think it's very important for every party to have a say in. But ultimately, you've got to come to an agreement. It can't be me and my husband against her or her against us. Like, we all have to mutually agree, or it just doesn't get done. If we can't say yes, then it's just going to be a no. Like, if we can't all three collectively agree on the same thing and come up to the same conclusion without being angry at one another, without being resentful, without saying, okay, well, fine, we'll do it this way just because I don't want to make you mad. No, if we can all agree, then we just won't do it. And that's kind of what we go by. And we do it fairly well. I don't know. Do I want to go live next time? God, I'm not gonna edit any of this out. It's just super awkward, guys. Any words of advice? I didn't come with a script. Like, I didn't come with like bullet points of things to talk about, because I wanted it to be genuine, and I wanted it to be very real. I think I'm just nervous. Gosh. Come on. You can do it. I think I'm just nervous, and I don't know. I know I have some really great points to be made, and I have really great knowledge to share. It's just, do you want to hear it? You know, it's just finding that audience of people who find it valuable, because not everybody will, and that's okay. Not everybody is going to want to hear me talk about stepchildren. Not everybody's going to want to see cooking videos. You know, not everybody's going to want to watch me clean. But I would love to be able to find the audience that finds it helpful. Not even entertaining, but helpful. Like, that's important to me. I always enjoy making new friends and being social, but I've come to realize that the older I get, the smaller my circle has become, and I'm okay with that. And I've started realizing that people who I have clung on to for years, because they were my friends for years, we're growing apart. And I feel like this age group, if you're between maybe 27 and maybe 31, 32, you're experiencing probably the same thing. You're probably going through those changes in your circle, and it's hard to let those people go, or it's hard to figure out why. Is it a you problem? Is it a them problem? And ultimately, it's nobody's problem. It's just you're becoming your own more adults, if you will. I have some friends who are still stuck in like 21 phase, who are going out and partying and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, again, there's nothing at all wrong with that. It's just not what I do. And I can't have a conversation with you about the club, or I can't have a conversation with you about all of the things you're doing in life, and you can't have a conversation with me about my kids have a band concert, and you know, so-and-so is sick, and so-and-so is doing this, or my job is doing this. So we don't have anything to talk about. And I feel like if I can't have a conversation with you, I don't want to force one with you. I don't want to force a friendship with you, that maybe our time has just come to an end. So that's actually been really hard lately. I have best friends who I've been friends with for years who fall into that boat, and I feel like they're probably going through the same thing I am. Like we just haven't talked about it. It's kind of one of those things, like we just don't talk anymore. So are you currently going through those situations? Have you gone through those situations? Have you lost touch with people in your life who you never thought you would lose touch with, and you have? If so, like, tell me how you did it. Tell me how you are now. Did you do that a long time ago and now you're rekindling a friendship? Do you ever talk? You know, tell me what you're going through. I have a friend who I'm trying to think if I want to tell this. Yeah, I'll tell it. I have a friend who I think very dearly of, and she's been my best friend, or she's been one of my closest friends for years. And she's ultimately, she's struggled in her life, especially the last 2 years. And she's made some really bad choices in her life. And I've been with her every step of the way. And it was not until recently I decided that I couldn't help her unless she wanted to help herself. And it was easier for her to come back to me when things got really bad and me help her through that. But then she would disappear when things were going really well for her. So if things were going great, I never heard from her. If things were going bad, I was her first call. And I was having a really hard time with that because this is somebody I cared about and I was worried about all the time. I'm still worried about all the time. But I recognized that I was probably, in a way, I was probably crippling her. I was giving her an out when she needed to fight that battle on her own. So I'm currently going through that. I've cut off that friendship. I have not had a conversation with her. I'm just going to let her deal with it. I've been very distant, because she's been distant with me, because she's now in this very positive point in her life that I haven't heard from her. And so I'm waiting for the time when she is not hit rock bottom, but when she's not as happy. And I want to have a conversation with her about how I can't do this. So have you guys ever had a friend like that? And if so, how did you go through it? You know, is that selfish of me? Maybe that's a great question for you to answer. Am I being selfish? So I don't think I am. I think for my own state of mind, I'm making a good call. As hard as it is, because I struggle with it every day. I want to pick up the phone and say, hey, how are you? But half the time she won't answer if she's happy. So, sorry guys, my phone storage filled up, so I had to transfer my video over to my thumb drive, and I'm back on now. So, back to what I was saying. I don't know, that's really all. That's really all I had to say about the matter. And was going to see if any of you have gone through a similar situation. Have you had to cut people out of your life? How did you deal with it? How'd they deal with it? Did you deal with it at all? But whenever I see videos like this, I always used to wonder, like, how they prepare for these. You know, how do you know what to say and know what to do and know how to react, and you know, what do you do? And now that I'm doing it, like, I realize it's really hard. Maybe that'll get better in time. But like, it's really hard to talk and not have anybody talking back. So maybe next time, yeah, I would love to do live where I can see comments, or I can interact, or I can answer questions. And hopefully soon I'll have a nice subscriber base that they have interest in that, where that could be a thing I do on a normal basis, because I would love to. I would love to be able to talk to you guys and learn more about you and build some relationships, and I would love that. But yeah, it's kind of weird just talking to, like, I feel like I'm having a conversation with myself. I know I used to watch these kind of videos whenever I was cooking or cleaning. It was just so relaxing to put one on, and I feel like I was just having a conversation with a girlfriend. But I feel like they were so good at it, you know, like they kept you entertained. And now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I can't remember what those conversations were about. You know, I can't remember if they were rambling or if they were about what was going on in the world. I really want to stay away from like politics and really controversial matters like that. I have no interest in bringing that to my channel. But yeah, I don't know. I also see a lot of these cleaning videos, and the houses are always just spotless, and I'm like, I need to see somebody, and they're beautiful homes, don't get me wrong. I know it took a lot of work to get them that way, but like I want to see some everyday lived in homes that I can relate to. And I'm a bit of a minimalist. I don't like clutter. Clutter gives me anxiety. So, you know, I know usually it seems like my house is clean, but it's not, you know, like there's dirt on the floor, there's sticky stuff on the counters, there is clutter that happens, and it drives me crazy. But my husband always says, you know, because on the weekends I like to say, oh, I have so much to do, I have to clean, I have to do this, I have to do that. And he says, what is there to clean? But it doesn't bother him like it bothers me. And that's definitely a me problem. Like that's nobody's problem but myself. So it just makes me feel so good. I don't enjoy cleaning, but I enjoy the satisfaction cleaning brings me. Does that make sense? Or does that contradict? Do I like cleaning then? No, I don't like the action of cleaning. I like the satisfaction it brings me. That's true. So Saturdays are usually my cleaning days. And then Sundays I like to keep as my, hopefully, lazy days or filming days. Like if I have like a recipe I want to try or fail at, because that happens a lot. Sundays usually I film some recipes, and every now and then I'm like, I don't want to bring this to the channel. Like didn't turn out the way I want it to. I want to perfect it and then try again later. And that can be really disheartening because it takes a lot to film. Like sure, the cook time may only be 30 minutes, you know, 15 minutes to prep, 15 minutes to cook, but to adjust my camera and to adjust my angles and make sure I'm, you know, like that 30 minutes can easily turn into an hour, and I have to start early to make sure that my family gets fed on time. So it can be really frustrating at the end of the day when I'm like, dang it, I did all of that for nothing. And I'm stuck with this recipe I'm not very happy with. So if any of you like watch recipes or watch cooking videos, or if you partake in that niche, if you do cooking videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like it can be very frustrating if you don't participate in that, but you just watch it. Like props to these people who that's what they do full time. I'm sure they have years of experience where I do not, but it would drive me crazy. You know, at least with my other videos, my cash stuffing, my cleaning, and my home projects, I know that the outcome, I know what I'm going to get. But with cooking is a science. So for people who do it like all the time, props to you. What is this? Is this? Okay. I really wanted to try, I had a bunch of fall recipes planned out, and pumpkin and cinnamon and spice and everything that you can think of. And I actually told my husband in September, like, oh, you better get ready for fall. I have so many recipes I want to try, and he was all for it. But then it seems like we weren't able to to shake any sickness. Every time we shook it and every time we felt fine, somebody else in the house would get sick, and then it would just restart the entire cycle of everybody being sick. So first off, I don't feel like cooking whenever I'm sick. I'll make the same meals I always make and just go for it, or have a PB&J or do that. I just don't feel like cooking, much less experimenting, because I don't want to post any videos that I'm not 100% sure on. So I'm going to have to experiment with a recipe, then I'm going to have to cook the recipe and edit the video and do everything else to where it's presentable, and that's after I perfect it. And so I didn't do anything I planned. Nothing. I tried caramel apples. This was my second go at caramel apples. I stink at it, guys. If you guys do caramel apples, let me know your secret, because I cannot do it. I tried like the caramel apple, regular caramel apple, and then I tried the slices where you put it like in a cup, or you make the apple a cup pretty much, or a bowl, and you put the caramel inside and you let it harden. I couldn't cut through the darn things. I couldn't do it. And the caramel was too hard. It was just a horrible mess. So if you guys do caramel apples, let me know your secret, because I would love to make them. I just can't. I did try the popcorn balls, and you will see that video on my page, on my channel. Is it a page? Channel. And those were actually really good. Really good. So those, and then I've got a cookie video I'm going to post probably what's today? Saturday? I'll post that in 2 days. I'll post that on Monday, and it's homemade cookies, which turned out very great. So yeah, I cook with mainly chicken and ground turkey. I'll do pork chops usually once a week, but it's usually chicken and ground turkey. I'm not much on beef. Not that I'm against it, I just don't cook with it much. And then we used to eat fish maybe once a week. We used to have tilapia or salmon or something. Salmon, not salmon, salmon. My husband hates when I say that. But I have not cooked any fish lately, in a long time actually, because the kids, it seemed like their taste buds were changing and they did not like it as much. And my mother-in-law moved in with us, and she lived with us for about 1.5 years, which I loved. I love my mother-in-law. And she was not a fish person. So I have not cooked fish in a long time, and I would like to cook some because it's so good for you. I don't do much fried things. I do mainly grilled or baked, but I'm always looking for new recipes. So if you guys know of a really good seafood recipe, I would love to try it, because that's something that I didn't grow up eating seafood. I had like tuna helper. Does that count? I had salmon maybe twice. I just didn't have any seafood. So I didn't experience shrimp. I didn't experience fish until I was maybe like 22 or 23. So I don't know how to cook it, a lot of it. A lot of it is definitely trial and error. And I did find these pre-packaged, already seasoned, just pop in the oven, seafood meals that were great. I loved them, but I want to actually cook fish. So if you are a cook and you like seafood, then send me over what you're doing. I would love to try it. I ran out of hangers. I've got to go to Walmart, which I hate going to Walmart. But I've got to go to Walmart and get some hangers because I'm out and I don't know what happens to them. I'm not buying any more clothes. I don't know where my hangers went, but they're all gone. It's like the sock monster in the dryer. I have a hanger monster apparently in the closet. And I am just about done. Yay. This was really good. I'm gonna have to do this more often, and next time I really want to go live to interact with you guys. But folding laundry is something I hate doing because it's so boring, and I'm usually doing it by myself, and I'm not having a conversation with anybody. So to sit here and talk, even though it's to myself, I hope you guys interact in the comments maybe. but even though it's by myself, it really helped the time go by. So I have a couple of socks for missing buddies. They will go in the mysterious pile, the save for later pile, where I usually keep them for about a week before tossing them, just in case a sock turns up. I don't know why it's always socks. Like, do they get stuck in the dryer? Where do they go? Where do the socks go? Do we know? Okay. And apparently, no, that's mine, that's his, that's, okay, that's it, that's all I got. Okay guys, I'm done with laundry. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3 loads. I'm done. So on that note, I'm going to put all this mess up and I guess go battle Walmart. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, no pressure. If you like the video, you like kind of what the channel is about, I will be more present with the channel. I will be uploading more. I have a bunch of projects I plan on getting to, especially now that it's gotten cooler. If you're not familiar with the area, it gets super hot, super humid. The temperature is just now starting to die down. So now that it's getting cooler, I do want to do some more projects outside. Later on, we're going to be doing some huge home projects. So if you are interested in that, you're interested in the cleaning videos, you just need a friend to talk to, stick around. I would love to have you. So I would love to grow the channel. I would love to create a community, not just a community where you come to visit for videos, but where we interact with one another. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you stay tuned. I hope to see you again. And on that note, have a great weekend. Have a very safe Halloween. Happy Halloween. And I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye.